Hello everyone, welcome to Voxcel. In this video, we're gonna discuss section 1 of second test that is taken from GT book 20th. We have already discussed test 1 of this particular book, so if you haven't watched those videos, you should, but after watching this particular one. So without further ado, let's start. So here you can see the number of questions 1 to 14. So for the first text we have to solve questions 1 to 7, and for the second text we will solve questions 8 to 14. So this title says great cycling trails. Why not take the bike and try one of these wonderful cycling routes next weekend? So its passage is likely about different kind of trails or routes that are used for cycling, and people go there for relaxation or activity, something like that. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna not read the paragraph just yet. We're gonna go straight to the questions, look at the type of questions we are dealing with, and then make a strategy and then start reading the paragraph. So questions are on the right hand side. Let's hear. So questions 1 to 7. Look at the five descriptions of cycle trails A, E. So from the information we know that there are five paragraphs A to E. So look at here, left hand side, A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, there are five paragraphs A to E. For which cycle trail are the following statements true? Write the correct letter A, E in boxes 1 to 7. So this is a type of question that we usually call paragraph contains information, and this is the one of the most important things to consider. You may use any letter more than once. That just means that in any paragraph you may find more than one answer. That is obviously true because how many paragraphs are there? Yes, 5. But how many questions are there? 7. So that just means that at least two paragraphs will have more than one answer in them. Clear? Because if every paragraph has one answer, so they will do 5 questions. So we have two remaining. So the two questions should be in other two paragraphs. So at least two paragraphs will have more than one answer, basically two answers in them. Maybe one paragraph will have three answers in them. So we can't say for anything for sure. So when we will read the paragraph, we will find this. So what we can do now is we can read the questions first, try to understand the difference, and then start reading the paragraph. Or you can read the paragraph first, try to understand what this paragraph is all about, and then try to match the information. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read the questions, try to make you understand the differences or the meaning of each question, and then we will read the paragraph, and then I will give you 10 seconds to solve every paragraph or tell me the answer of every paragraph. And if you need more time, you can pause the video, and then when you're ready with your answer, you can continue. So let's read the first question. People who like finding about industrial history may find this cycle trail interesting. So this is about industrial history. So people who like industrial history, this trail will be interesting for them. Clear? Second, cyclists might find it advisable to get off their bikes on this trail and go a short distance on foot. So basically, you have to get off your bike and then you have to go on foot along with your bike. Third, it is possible to buy something to eat when cycling along this route. So, something to eat. You can buy something to eat. Fourth, people can stop on this trail and see some farm animals. So in whichever trail you will be able to see farm animals. So instead of farm animals, they may write names of the animals like sheep, goats, cows, buffaloes, horses, but whatever farm animals there are. So we may find some names there. Fifth, cyclists can stop for a while on this trail and sit by sea. So now be very careful here. They can stop. Yeah, they can also stop. But here what they can do, they can see farm animals, and for this they can sit by the sea. Clear? Sixth, a very old building is close to this trail and is open to public. So that particular building is closed and it is open to public. Okay, so maybe some palace or some other kind of old building, maybe some famous person living in that particular building, and it's very close to this particular trail, this particular route, and it's open to common people. Riders can extend that distance this cycle if they take this trail. So in whichever trail you can extend the distance. Like for example, normally the distance is 20 kilometers, but you can go 30 kilometers or 40 kilometers if you take that particular route. So if you take this trail, you will have this particular option. You can extend your journey. These are quite simple questions. Now what we're going to do is we're going to read the a paragraph, and then I will give you 10 seconds to around 10 seconds tell me if we have any answer in this or not. A bonus to Blackness Castle, Edinburgh. If you like cycling on flat ground and enjoy having interesting things to look at, this is one of the best trails in Scotland. So they're talking about if you like to cycle on flat ground, not on hills or something like that, and you enjoy having interesting things to look at. If you enjoy looking at things, this is one of the best trails in Scotland. Among its plus points, there are fantastic views of three of the bridges across from River Forth. Simply return by the same path or continue on to South Queensferry for a longer day out. So they're talking about the plus points. Here, one of the plus points is there are fantastic views from the river Forth, and then if you want to return, you can return from the same path, or you can continue path doing going to the straight line for a longer day out. I hope it is clear. Now you have around 10 seconds to tell me if go from question 1 to 7 if we have any answer or answers in this particular paragraph, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Now, let's look at the questions together. First question: people like about industry. Is there anything about industrial history? No, nothing like that. Get off their bikes and walk on foot. Is there anything mentioned about that? Again, no. Buy something to eat. Is there any mention of this? Nothing like that. Farm animals? No. Sit by sea. Is there any answer? No. Do not get confused. You can look at the bridges. You cannot sit by the sea. Do not look at like river Forth. So it's something related to water, sea, again water. So I will mark this as an answer. No. You are not able to sit by the sea like on a beach, something like that. So you can look at the three of the bridges. So you are looking at the bridges, not you are sitting by the sea. Sixth, old building, something about that, nothing like that. Seventh, extend the distance if they take this trail. Is there anything like that? Yes. Our answer to this question is A. Let me just write here. In the last sentence itself, so here they have written simply return or continue on to the South Queensferry for a longer day out, or you can return by the same path, basically cover the same distance, or continue on to the south of South Queensferry for a longer day out, or you can extend go to this particular place to cycle a bit more for a longer day out. I hope it is clear. Let's move to the second paragraph. B. The Montgomery Canal Cycle Path, Wales. Dragonflies, swans, buzzards, fish, and other creatures can be spotted as you cycle alongside the canal. So, these are the names of some animal or some insects you can see, or animals you can see, creatures you can see along the canal. The path is in good condition and broad enough for a family to ride safely. A day out cycling in the area can also include a visit to nearby 13th century Powys Castle and its beautiful gardens. So they're saying that the path is good for family rides. Also, it's safe for family rides. You can go to this particular place, and it has beautiful gardens. Clear? So now again, you have around 10 seconds for this, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's read the questions together. A. Industrial history. Is there anything about industrial history? Nothing like that. Get off bike and walk on foot. Is there anything like that? No. Buy something to eat. Again, it is not mentioned in this particular paragraph. Fourth, see farm animals. Is there any mention of farm animals? No. These are not farm animals. Dragonflies, swans, buzzards. No, they are not farm animals. Clear? Sit by the sea. Is they talking about sitting by the sea? No, it's talking about the canal, not sea. So that cannot be our answer. Sixth, very old building close to this particular trail open to public. Yes. Let me just write the answer first. This is our answer for this particular paragraph. B. Sixth question. Where it is written? Yes, here. A visit to nearby 13th century. So 13th century is old building. Okay. Nearby meaning to say close. Let me just write the question here. This is question 6. So for the close we have nearby. So open to public, you can go there. Obviously it's open to public. I hope it is clear. Moving on to the C paragraph. A walking and cycling path in Birmingham, West Midlands. The busy city of Birmingham has several well known bike trails, including a quiet route along the Bourne Brook to Woodgate Valley Country Park. One humpbacked bridge is best walked across, but the rest of the route is flat and suitable for all range of bikes. So they're talking about this particular city, Birmingham, and it has very various routes, famous routes for cycling, and the one of that particular routes is Bourne Brook to Woodgate Valley Country Park. This particular route has one humped back bridge that should be crossed like best walked across. So you have to go like on foot, basically you have to walk that particular bridge, but the rest is quite flat and suitable for different range of bikes. It's then 2 kilometer along the sign posted path to Woodgate Valley, which is perfect for picnics as a family friendly visitor attraction, especially for its sheep, and offers a break from cycling. Then it's 2 kilometer along signpost posted Woodgate Valley, obviously, and it's perfect for picnics. So you can, it has a friendly, family friendly visitor attraction, and it's known for its sheep, family friendly visitor attraction also, and it offers you break from cycling. Like basically, you can go and rest there. Clear? So you have around 10 seconds for this, and if you need more time, obviously you can pause this particular video, and when you're ready with your answer, you can continue, and the time starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's read the questions together. Is there any mention of industrial history? No, there is no mention of that. Is there any mention of you have to get off their bikes and walk on foot? Yes, there is. Let me just write here. C. Where it is written? Yes, I have to do this first. Okay, so here, they have said that it is best walked across, walked basically on foot, but the rest is suitable for cycling. So go distance, short distance on foot. Otherwise, you can cycle. Clear? So there is one more answer here. Let's read. Is it possible for something to eat? Is there anything mentioned about bike, something to eat? No. Stop and see farm animals. Is there any mention of any farm animals? Yes, there is. Again, the sorry about that. The answer to this, it will also be C. Where it is written? Yes. Mm, from here. Sheep and offers a break from cycling. Let me do this. This is question 4. I hope you understood it. Let's read another. If there is any, is there any mention of sitting by the sea? No. 6 and 7 we have already done. So in this paragraph, we have two answers: question 2 and question 4. So let's read the paragraph. The cycle trail in the forest of Dean, Gloucestershire. The path is on a former railway route from the time when the area was involved in coal mining. So now they're talking about this particular path. It involved this particular area which was involved in coal mining. So the path, this is a former railway route, and the time, the area where, like in the past, this area was involved in coal mining. Cyclists can visit sites from this period on the way. But those just along for the views won't be disappointed. So if you want to visit sites from this particular time period, you can do that. But if you are just for the views or just for the vibes, you will not be disappointed. Stop for lunch at one of the numerous picnic spots along the way. So what you can do is you can stop for lunch at one of the places. The route is circular, fully marked, and suitable for the whole family, including the dog. So this particular route, it's circular. There is proper marking, so you won't get lost, and it's also suitable for the whole family, including the dog. So you don't have to leave the dog behind. Clear? So again, you know the ritual. You will have around 10 seconds. Tell me whether there is any answer or answers in this, and time starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's read the options together, questions together. Is there anything about industrial history and people will find it interesting? Yes, there is. This is our answer D. Where it is written? Here in the first sentence. Let me just write the question number here, then I will explain if you haven't got it. So here, so they have said involved in coal mining, so industrial history. So coal mining is basically industry. Coal mining is an industry, so it's an industrial area with industrial history. Clear? So you can visit if you want to visit. So it's interesting for those who like these kind of things. Let's see if there is any other answer in this. Buy something to eat. There is nothing like that. Sit by sea. Again, there is nothing like that. So 6 and 7 we have done. So only one paragraph left, and how many questions? One, two. Two questions are left. So obviously, both questions will be in this paragraph, but without finding, we will not mark it just yet because you have to be 100% sure that we have read everything clearly. E. The Vira Trail Liverpool. Viral Trail Liverpool. So sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. The trail is safe, fair, and with plenty of cafes on the way. Take in the views of North Wales. Have a rest on the beach at Caldy and Thurston. Then cross the border into Cheshire and towards the Chester. Both West Kirby and Chester have regular direct trains back to Liverpool. Clear? So they're talking about this particular thing. So I'm gonna give you around 10 seconds. Tell me the answers, where are the locations, and if both answers are here or not, and time starts now. Okay, time's up. So let's read the third question. Buy something to eat. Yes, it is in this particular paragraph. That is E. Let me just write here. And sit by the sea. Yes, it is also in E paragraph. But where it is written buy something to eat? Yes, here. Plenties of cafe on the way. So if there are cafes, obviously you can buy there to eat. So this is the third question. And what about fifth question? Sit by the sea? Yes. have a rest on the beach. So if you are resting on the beach, obviously you are sitting by the sea. I hope it is clear. This is question 5. Clear? So we have done all D, C, E, C, E, B, A. Yeah, we have done all the questions. So I hope you understood how to solve this particular reading. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the question number 8 to 14. So if you look here, so let me change the color first. So if you look here, there are questions A to 14. So on the right hand side, you can also look questions A to 14. So what we're going to do is we're going to read the title of this particular text first. What steps to take to become a fashion designer? So this text is all about, or should be about, the steps you should take to become a fashion designer, basically the do's and don'ts of becoming a fashion designer. Like you should take a course in particular college, or you should have some kind of skills before becoming something. So we will have some kind of steps like first, second, something like that. Clear? Now again, you know the ritual. We are not going to go straight to the paragraph just yet. We're going to go to the questions, look at the type of questions, read the instructions, and then make a strategy according to that. Complete the flow chart below. Choose one word only. So that's very important to understand. You have to write one word only. You cannot write more than one word. What will happen if you write more than one word? Yes, your answer will be marked as incorrect, even though it may be correct. Like one of the two words, let's just say you have written two words, or one of those two words is correct, but still the answer will be marked as incorrect because you have not completed, or you have not followed the instruction words. Clear? So let's read this: design graduates and how to get into the fashion industry. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, these kind of questions are usually, like almost always, in order. What I mean by that is you will get answer to the question number 8 before answer to question number 9, then you will get answer to 10, then 11, then 12, then 13, then 14. So rarely they are not in order, and even if that is the case, only one or two questions are out of order. Otherwise most of the times you will find the questions in order. So we will assume that even in this particular scenario we will have questions in order. So let's read the 8th question. Consider whether to specialize in a less popular area such as blank rather than clothing. Now they're talking about, like, the giving advice that you should consider whether you want to specialize in a less popular area. So basically such as dash rather than clothing. So clothing is more popular than this particular thing, and we have to find which is this area which is less popular than clothing. Let's see. First, it's important to think about what types of fashion designers are in demand currently. Now they're talking about, you have to, like, understand what kind of designers are in demand at present. There are so many women's wear designers, yet not as many menswear, sportswear, or accessories designers. Opportunities might be greater in those categories. What the paragraph is saying to us is, like, there women's wear, obviously we know, they like designer, fashion designer in women's wear, they are quite popular all over the world. But there are not as many as these kind of designers, like menswear, sportswear, or accessories designers. So if because of the, like, fewer number of people, or fewer people in this particular categories, opportunities might be greater in these categories. Clear? So yeah, this is our location. I will tell you the words exactly, but I will give you around 10 seconds. Obviously, you know the ritual. You will get around 10 seconds to tell me the answer, and the time starts now. Okay, time's up. And the answer to this question is yes, accessories. Just let me mark the question here. This is question 8. So now, how we arrived at this particular answer? So they're saying that consider whether to specialize in less popular areas. So obviously, this particular thing has been paraphrased that there are so many women's wear, not as many. So not as many, basically less popular. Here, why haven't we written men's wear or sports wear? Why we have written accessories as our answer? Because clothing, they refer to menswear and sportswear, they will come under the category of clothing, but accessories, they are not under the categories of clothing. I hope you got the idea, you got the point. Now, moving on to the ninth question. Try to get an internship in a business where you will be a good blank. Now, we are trying to say you should try to get an internship in a particular business where you will be a. So, a basically refers to article and it always comes with a noun. You will be a good. What kind of word do you think should be here? Where you will be a good fit, where you will be a good, you can say, person or something like that. Not person obviously, but it will not be grammatically correct, but let's see what kind of word should be there. When applying for internships, think about what you'll bring to the company as well as what they can offer you. Now they're saying that now here is internship, so we have found our location. We have to think that what we will bring to the company as well as what they are offering us or what they can offer us. Is the company going to teach you skills that are relevant to your future career? So is the company doing any benefit to me? What mix of skills can you bring to the company that is relevant to their needs and what I can do for the company? Try to find the company, so we have to try. So here it is written, try to get the internship, try to find the company that's the right fit for you, and you are much more likely to be what the company is looking for as well. Clear? So our location is in these particular, in this particular sentence, and you will get around 10 seconds to tell me the answer, and the time starts now. Okay, time's up. The answer to this question is fit. So luckily we just thought of this particular answer while we were trying to think of a word, but it won't happen all the time. So it happened. That's our good luck. But we will not rely on this particular thing that we will try to guess every answer as like without any reading any context. We will guess the answer, write that particular answer, and move to the next question. No, this is not the way to do. Now, now tell me where it is written good fit. How do we arrive with this particular word? So for good, they have written right. So they are saying try to get an internship, try to find the company. So if you're trying to get an internship in a business, so you're trying to find the company where you will be. So that's the right fit for you. So here they have written you will be something. Here they're saying it's a good thing for you. You will be a good fit. So you will fit in the company. The company's goal will align with your goals. So you will, both of you will be so both of you will get benefit out of that. Clear? Let's read 10th question. Having identified a business where you want to work, now we have identified a business where we want to work, and hand in the application personally. Go and hand in, sorry about that. So you should go and hand in the application personally. It should not be like through emails or post. You should go there personally and hand in your application, even if this involved significant blank. Even if this particular thing, like going to that particular company and giving your application in person, this involved significant blank. What kind of word do you think should be here? Yeah, something about money. because if you're going to or significant time or money. Otherwise, other than these two things, we don't worry about. Obviously, we are worried about it will involve a significant time to reach that particular place, or it will cost me a lot of money to reach that particular place. So we should email our CV, or we should post our mail our CV, something like that. But again, we will read this. Let's see what this particular thing is involved. Knocking on doors can lead to fantastic opportunities. Okay, knocking on doors basically means going there personally. Designers are very busy and overwhelmed with people applying to work with them, but they are far more impressed by people that try that little bit harder. For example, some graduates go overseas. Okay, you are going overseas. Some graduates are going overseas to New York or Milan to deliver self-directed design project and CV to the designer of their choice. So they are going personally to do this. Of course, that can lead to considerable expense, but it often results in success. Yeah, that can lead to this particular thing, but it will be, or it can be, difference between success and failure. So obviously our answer, I'm not going to tell you the exact line. So you have to find that our answer should be in these sentences, and you have around 10 seconds for this, and time starts now. Okay, time's up. The answer to this particular question is yes, expense. I hope you all got the answer. So if not, don't worry. I will explain it to you why expense is our answer and how we arrived at it. So here we have already understood that this is like going somewhere personally and deliver a self-directed design or project that can lead to, so that may involve significant, here they have written considerable. I hope it is clear. 11th, let me do this. To get your work seen, so if you want your work to be seen, make sure you produce a blank on various digital platforms and approach specialist blank involved in recruiting fashion designers. So let's go one by one. First we will focus on question number 11th. So to get your work seen, so if you want other people to see your work, like to analyze your work or to look at your work, make sure you produce a dash on various digital platforms. What you can do to what you can produce, so a basically refers to single noun. So what you can make on various digital platforms, IDs. What else you can do? You can make IDs, or you can make your account, something like that. Let's see. Make use of online fashion and business networking sites. So this is about online. So that's our location. Create your profile on each one, as you never know who might be looking. Apply to as many fashion hiring agencies as you can. There are more than 20 in the UK alone. Not all of them take on new graduates, but try them all anyway. Okay. So obviously both answers are in this particular sentence, but first we'll focus on 11th, and 11th answer is in these two sentences, and for that you have around 10 seconds to tell me the answer, and the time starts now. Okay, time's up, and the answer to this question is profile. Like, it's quite simple, I guess. Everybody might have been able to find this answer. Just let me mark it first. Okay, so how we arrived at this particular answer? Because this is single noun, so producer profile. So create, basically you are producing something at that particular platforms or networking sites. On each one, on various platforms, they are talking about this fashion and networking, business networking sites. Let's read the 12th question. And approach specialist. So you have to approach specialist, someone or something involved in recruiting fashion designers. So whoever they are, they recruit fashion designers. Clear? So let's read again. as apply to as many fashion hiring agencies as you can. There are like 20 alone in the UK, not all of them take on. Okay, so our answer, sorry about that, our answer is in these sentences. And about, we have around 10 seconds, the time starts now. Okay, time's up, and the answer to this is agencies. I hope you all got the answers. So obviously, who are recruiting, who are hiring. Clear? So you cannot write fashion agencies, because obviously then this will become two words and the answer will be marked as incorrect. And if you write only fashion specialist agencies, fashion hiring agencies, so obviously the agencies is the correct answer. Okay, moving on to 13th question. Review the blank. So you have to review something you have done and make sure it is as comprehensive as possible by gaining further experience. So what you have to review? You have to review something, okay, that you have done. So review the studies, review the material, something like that, and you have to make sure that it is as complete or comprehensive as possible by gaining further experience. So if you think you are lagging somewhere, there is some gap in your knowledge, something like that, you should complete it first by gaining further experience. Let's see what you are reviewing first. Consider your training and fill in any gaps. Assistant designers and interns can make themselves more employable through investing time in obtaining, for example, computer design skills. Okay, so reviewing, basically considering. So this is our location, and our answer should be in, or our answer is in these sentences. And for that, you have a 10, around 10 seconds. The time starts now. Okay, time's up. And the answer is, what you are reviewing? You are reviewing your training. I hope everybody was able to find the answer, but if not, don't worry, I'm gonna explain it to you. So consider your training, review your training. Obviously, you have done. So your, basically, that you have done. That is why it's called your. And make sure it's as comprehensive as possible. So if you have any gaps in it, you should fill it. How? By here, more time in obtaining some skills. So if you are obtaining more skills, you will be becoming more employable. Clear? Let's read the 14th now. Do not rely on your ability alone. So your ability alone is not like sufficient. So you should not rely on it alone, and establish as many useful blank as possible. And you have to establish as many useful something as possible. What you can establish as many useful projects as possible. But you don't establish projects. You can establish contacts, or you can establish connections, something like that. Let's see, what are you establishing? Unfortunately, not all colleges and universities have CAD as an internal part of their courses. If this has affected you, you should study online learning. Okay, note this. Finally, talent is not enough. Okay, here it is, not alone. Talent is not enough. You need to get out there and make sure everybody knows about your skills. Graduates should be aware that they need to be proactive and persistent. It's all down to developing new contacts and utilizing the ones you already have. Okay, so obviously your answer in this particular two sentences, and you have around 10 seconds. The time starts now. Okay, time's up. And the answer to this question is contacts. Let me just mark the answer first, location. Then I will explain if you were not able to identify it. Okay, so how we arrived at this particular answer, where it is established? Yes, they have paraphrase established into developing. So you have to develop new contacts. So if you're establishing something, you are developing something new. So you have to develop new contacts and utilize the ones you already have. So as many useful contacts as possible. So if you are not making new contacts, you will not get enough work, or you will not get any work for that particular matter. So in most industries, contacts gets you work. Not only your talent, that talent can take you so far, but if you don't have proper contacts, if you don't know people who are in the industry, so it's very difficult for anyone to break in. Clear? So okay, we have done 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I hope you understood how this particular text is solved. So if there is any question that is not clear, you should rewatch that particular part of the video, or you can rewatch the entire video if you want to do so, so that you can understand how to read or how to solve these kind of questions. We have uploaded other videos as well. You can go and look at those videos in our video section, and I will see you in the section 2 of this particular test in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.